Hi, welcome back to Just Start Tips Tuesday, where every Tuesday we're going to come to you with some tips and tricks on how to better your CrossFit overall. So today we've got we've had a question that's actually not in the jar, and it's actually a really good question. This weekend here at our box, and actually many boxes across the country and even probably the world for that part, is Murph. The Murph Challenge is this coming weekend. And we have that here, so it's a free community event. So for those of you who are in Indianapolis and you don't have a place to go, please feel free to come here. We would love to have you. It's a free community event, and afterward we're gonna have a cookout. So we welcome anybody to come here. And that's gonna be from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our box. So with that being said, Murph is this coming weekend. And we've had questions about, well, how do I get ready for Murph? I've had questions in terms of fuel, fueling the day before, the night of, the day of, and what things what should you actually do? So we're going to talk about that. So the night before, make sure that you're hydrating. If you watched our video yesterday, we talked about hydration. So I'm going to refer you back to the video for yesterday for our Macros Monday post. So make sure that you're hydrating. And the night before, you don't really need to, like some people do this carb loading. That's not something that you need to do. Make sure that you eat a well-balanced meal throughout the evening time. But with that too, don't go to bed hungry. So have some potatoes a couple hours before bed. Have something that's like your pasta is completely fine, but you don't need to have 3 helpings of pasta. There's no need to carb load. Okay. With that, how about the morning of?
Yeah, really the same kind of thing. You're doing a balanced meal about 2 hours before you work out, at least. So don't eat a big meal an hour before the start, because you'll feel it in your stomach when you go to run that mile and while you're doing the body weight and while you hit that last mile. So really 2 to 3 hours beforehand, you want to have a nice balanced meal.
Yeah.
A little bit of healthy fat, good carbohydrates, and some good protein. You know, like I think of if you're doing it in the morning, eggs, whole wheat toast, oatmeal, a little bit of peanut butter or something like that would be a good option. Some fruit, and then right before your hour before, you can consume something else. What should you have done?
That's when I suggest, like the hour before, make sure, so if you're eating a breakfast an hour before, make sure that you're cutting your breakfast in half, especially if you're somebody that eats a very large breakfast, cut that in half. But if you're gonna eat, let's say that you've had breakfast in the morning and now you're going to Murph and it's a few hours later, about an hour before, take in some carbohydrate. And with that, I like to recommend the Bobos bar. I actually ate this morning before working out, so I don't actually have one to show, but this is the wrapper for it. So this is something that I like to recommend. And another thing, I even recommend for this type of a hero wad, go ahead and have an RX bar. That's actually okay. Most of the time, eat it after workout, but before this kind of a hero workout, yes. During a normal wad, I would say no. But the other thing that I would actually like to say is, what kind of nuts do you like? Do you like
almonds?
salty, or do you like plain nuts? Like bland nuts?
Honestly, both of them.
Okay.
But if I'm having something kind of like, I guess if it's just by itself, probably salty.
Okay. I like nuts. So with that being said too, I like this kind of a nut mixture here. So have a handful of these. So I think nuts are good. So he's more of a cashew kind of a guy. I'm more of a nut kind of a guy. So yeah, they keep me nice and full for the duration. But you don't need much. Again, you just need a handful. Almonds are actually perfect. Cashews are great. But about an hour before, just a handful. And you might think that with that being a fat, it does a slow digesting. But it's what you need for a hero wad. It'll actually help you stay full for the duration of the workout, and it'll fuel you through that whole long workout.
So we moved on from food now. Let's go into your fuel. You're ready to go. But there are still some things about Murph that can really cause you issues. It's one of the hardest workouts in CrossFit. It just is. And one of the big issues is hand care. So if you tear in the middle of this workout, you are not going to be a hero, you are going to cry. And then you're going to look terrible for the rest of the week. All right, do not tear. You do not want to tear your hands. It's not a sign of being cool. It's not smart. So to stop that, get one of these or anything else that shaves down your calluses. This is called a pet egg. I like it a lot, but you can also use a pumice stone. You can see this has, let me see if I can get it. Yeah, you can see it has a little grater on it, takes off the skin off your hands. Pumice stone works as well. What it does is smooths out your callus so it doesn't pinch on the bar while you're doing the pull-ups and rip off your hands.
Yep. Good.
Oh yeah, thanks. Also what you should do is either you could tape your hands, but you also could consider getting gymnastics grips. Thanks for reminding me. Gymnastics grip are my personal preference. They feel very good, especially as they get broken in. A little bit of chalk, gymnastics grip, hands won't rip. That rhymes too. That works.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that you can actually use too, that you actually should be prepared with, is good pair of running shoes. If with the 2 miles that you're going to be running, and hopefully that the box you're going to, if you're not coming to ours, they've actually scaled it back properly for you if you don't like running, or if you can't run. But make sure that you have a good pair of running shoes. That's going to help, especially when like this weekend, it's supposed to be really warm in Indianapolis. It's supposed to be close to 80 degrees, and you want a nice pair of running shoes on that asphalt. And if you've not been running 2 miles for a period of time, it's going to be a good wake-up call. So make sure you have a good pair of running shoes.
Yeah, I ran a mile this morning.
Yeah,
it was a wake-up call.
Yeah, and so and with that, so don't go unbroken either. So there's a lot of different ways you can break it up, and just for, we're going a long time on the video here, but I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of things you can do. I really like, last year I did 369, and I did that 33 rounds. So 369, rather than doing 100, 200, 300, so 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and then 300 air squats, going unbroken that way. I partitioned mine up into 369. Another famous way of doing it is Cindy.
Yeah,
so
do a Cindy
5,
workout.
10, 15 for 20 rounds. Another good one that I know some of the athletes did last year was a 10, 20, 30 for 10 rounds, and that's another good way to break it up.
You can do it.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of other ways you can do it, but that's just a couple examples with that.
So with that, pacing yourself is important, right? You might be able to walk into the first round and be like, I don't know, if you're a pretty decent athlete and you're like, I'm gonna knock out 20 pull-ups right after that first mile, and I'm just gonna be blowing out of the gate. What's gonna happen is you're gonna get middle of the workout, and you're gonna just tank. Yeah. And remember that at the end of all the bodyweight movements, you have another mile to run. And I mean, if you haven't done Murph before, that second mile, it's really interesting. It's gonna challenge you mentally. So pace yourself and know that you have a lot of work left to do, and make sure that you don't just blow out of the gate and then burn out halfway through the workout. That
will really suck if that happens to you. And then at the end, when Murph is over, enjoy yourself. Yes. Refuel. We're going to have a cookout here after Murph, so you can come and join the cookout with us. But what a great time to take in a beer. So we don't have that on our hashtag Macros Monday post, but you know what? It's great you need to refuel after the workout. So hamburgers, hot dogs, potato salad. That's a great time to take all that in and enjoy yourself. You've just had an insanely... Donut holes. We have a donut holes. We're actually doing a competition. We're going to Facebook Live on Saturday morning. We're going to be going to 2 different places. So
vote for me.
Vote for me. No,
mine are better.
Get out of the picture. So yeah, so we're going to have some good donut holes here. So that's a good thing. And we might do that. I might do that for a pre-WOD. So. Nice. I need a little bit of sugar. So actually, I'm sweet enough.
Adventurous.
So, yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our Just Our Tips Tuesday for Murph. We will see you next week. Enjoy Murph if you're doing this weekend. Come here if you can. See ya.